you said something Twitch, so I just hit start.
Okay, cool. Alright, Anthony is... Alright, well, we'll add an Anthony when he gets here. Alright, I'll start in just a second. Hello, guys, and welcome to the newest episode of the Just Another Castle podcast, also known as the MyGN Nintendo podcast. With me today is Matt.
You're a kid, you're a squid, you're a kid, you're a squid.
From the infamous Splatoon commercial. We got Mike.
Matt bringing those 90s like commercials back in our heads. Oh.
Yeah.
We got Uno.
Haven't even seen a single squid commercial, so you can't even infect my brain.
It's probably for the best.
And then Anthony should hopefully be showing up, but I'm not 100% sure. And then myself, Eli, Palasalan. So, why don't we begin, as always, with what we've been playing. So, what I've been playing were two games. The first one being Splatoon, because we actually got sent 4 codes for our site for the full game. Oh, Anthony, you there?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, you're awesome. Alright, so we got
Alright.
Anthony, Gameguy, 523, on MyGN as well. Alright, so we just started with what we've been playing stuff. So I've been playing Splatoon, and okay, so I know I came off like a D-bag, I guess, last week when I was like really skeptical and something and stuff, but after playing the full version, I've got to say that game is so fun. And online, it's just, I guess I just didn't have enough time with it. I don't know, or maybe it was the fact that the level system just encouraged me to want to play again and again and again to get more XP every time. Or maybe it's the fact that I just turned out to be really good at the game. Not to brag, but I came in like first place like 8 times in a row playing with other media people. So, but
So you're saying once the competition is removed, you're good?
yeah. What?
Most reviewers are terrible at games. That's old news, bro. That's old news.
But I mean, I'm ready for Splatoon. And honestly, like my main concern last week was the fact that there isn't enough content in the game. And honestly, I still feel that way. Like there should be more there for $60. But the game is fun enough, I think, to where you'll have a blast regardless of how many maps there are or anything like that, because the game is just fun to play. And they're still going to add stuff in the future. And then as for the single player, after playing the single player, you really understand that this was probably a Mario game to begin with. Like, it's kind of platformy-ish. But it's also, there's like, the boss battles are totally feel like Mario boss battles. But it's good. Like, I really like the single player. It's just a little short. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to say, if you don't mind spending $60 on a game that you know will eventually be worth that, I'd say pick it up, because that game is really fun to play online. There's a lot of different weapons, and the level up system is cool, and I just haven't had time to try rank battle yet.
How many hours have you played? Because have you gotten fatigued with the 5 maps yet?
No, I surprisingly hadn't. And now, to be fair, okay, so I've played probably, I think, like 5 or 6 hours, and I've got to say that now. This may be due to the fact that it's really hard to find matches. Like, I don't know how many matches I've played necessarily, because there's just not very many people that have the game so far. But when I've been in a match and I've been able to play like back to back to back, I haven't really had any issues with boredom yet. But so far I'm enjoying it. Plus, I feel like you get a lay of the land after playing maps again and again and again, to where you get to a point where you kind of get good at it, you know. I feel like practice really does make perfect in this game. And that's I guess you get good at learning the maps.
Well, the matches are only like 3 minutes long, right? So I guess it doesn't feel like you're treading too much. It's not like you're there for 15 minutes. It's like quick pop in and pop out.
Exactly, and you kind of learn, because like when you switch out your move sets or your weapons and stuff, you get different sub weapons, and so you learn how to use different sub weapons and different specials, and it's kind of like different every time you switch weapons. And I think it's good, and I feel much better about Splatoon than I did a week ago. Yeah.
Would you say it's mainly focused on multiplayer though, versus like single player content?
Like someone. Okay, so first of all, local co-op. There's a 1v1 mode which just isn't very good, like at all. It's just kind of boring. And then the other mode, the single player mode. I mean, it's good and fun to play, but each level takes maybe 5 minutes to beat. And in total, I think there are 12, 20. There are like 24 levels, so it won't take you long. Like if you spent through that game, you'd be done with a single player in 2 or 3 hours. So the most of the game is definitely in the multiplayer. Yeah. The other game I was playing was Stretchmo because that came out, and it's okay. I don't really have much to say about the game. It's cool because the puzzles are kind of like in a 3D space, but I don't really have much more to say about that game at this point.
Is this as good as Pushmo? Because Pushmo was amazing.
Yeah, well, so Pushmo is really good, and then you got Crashmo, and then you got Pushmo World, and then you got Stretchmo, and this is all within like a period of what, like a year and a half or 2 years. So I mean, it's just as good, but I feel like it's getting a little old at this point, you know, because each game has like 200 puzzles, and I don't know, it's easy to get bored of it. But
there's a couple of different sections. Don't they play differently? Like one is a different style of game than the other. Like one has enemies or something. I forget. I thought I heard there's a couple of different kind of modes within the characters.
In Stretchmo? Not modes. They're like different worlds, and each world has like a different emphasis. Like I'll read through them right now. Oh, I don't have that open. But anyway, like one of them is like any NES world or whatever, and all the puzzles are like different, like NES characters, like Samus or whatever, or like the Ice Climber. And then there's just a normal world with like different types of everyday objects you'd be familiar with, like a flower. And then there's like a hard world where it's just like hard puzzles. And then there's one more which I forgot. Yeah, I mean, all I have to say is, like, if you really, really like Pushmo, you're going to like this one, too. The puzzles are much more complex because they're actually, like, 3D puzzles, and you can push in as well as out. So I think for that, it's pretty good.
Nice.
All right, so why don't we move on to the next person? Anthony?
No, you cut out there. What have I been playing? Is that the question?
Yes, that is the question to you, sir.
I've been in sort of a bit of a gaming rut lately. But doing more reading, which is boring. No.
Ooh, reading.
No. But I have been playing. Just got back to it. Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh, playing on the PS4.
The PS3. I don't have a PS4 yet.
Sorry.
I played a lot of it back in January. And got some other MyGNers into it, and then I had to quit for classes to focus on classes, and they kept going, and now they're like maxed out, and they're doing really well, and I'm coming back, and now I'm playing catch up, but it's a lot of fun, good time.
Is the game free to play yet, or is it still subscription?
You can do a 2-week trial. Yeah, it's 14 days.
Okay.
I'd highly recommend it. I think you can get up to like level 20 in the trial, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good MMO. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys like MMOs, but it's a good one.
Yeah, no, I like MMOs. I'm just afraid to like lose my life to one, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other game I've been playing is the single-player MMO, which is Xenoblade 3D.
Oh, yeah, that's
slowly getting through that. I've already beaten it on the Wii, but you know, everyone knows it's like a 780-hour game, so that might be a slight exaggeration, but.
Yeah, come on. It's 779, man. Come on.
Yeah. We're a little overboard there.
Jono played through it, I think, 2 or 3 times. He really liked it.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Flea probably spent like 3 years on it.
Yeah, it's cool. What are your thoughts on Xenoblade so far? On the 3D version versus the Wii?
It's like a near perfect port. Like, I don't have any issues with it, really. Yeah, it's just pretty much the same game. Runs perfectly, so I love it just as much, basically.
Yeah, I mean, some people were saying it doesn't look as good, but, I mean, I didn't have an issue with anything either.
No, not really. I mean, in some ways, I think it actually looks better.
Yeah.
In some areas. And then I played the global test fire for Splatoon, and I agree. Lots of fun. Had a really good time. I actually came in first on all my matches, but I lost all my matches.
Hey, that happens. Well, the thing is, I think you get like a 300-point bonus or something and points if you win.
Yeah, if you win. Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot harder to be first place when you're on the losing team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that game is a blast, and if you know like how to play it well, and you really get the fact that you're shooting, like finding strategic places to shoot instead of just shooting other people.
Oh yeah.
You get really good at that game.
I hate to be one of those people, but I got kind of annoyed with like how much everyone chose the roller. I don't care at all if whether it's overpowered or not. I just wish less people had used it, because like every match, like 3 of my opponents on the other team would use the roller. So I eventually just realized like if you go up high, that like destroys rollers. If you shoot them from up high.
Yeah,
like,
I was saying that last week. I was like, you can't win with 4 rollers. Like, if they have one gun guy, you could just spawn there. Like, you could just camp their spawn and they'll never be able to get out.
Pretty much, yeah. So that was fun, being able to punish them.
Did any of you guys use motion controls for controlling it?
I tried it for 3 minutes.
Very first game,
And
because I was
never
like,
went
hey,
back.
like, this is what they want me to do. So I did it, and it was super uncomfortable because I had to keep adjusting the camera. And I was just like, all right, nah, forget this.
Yeah, I
I
couldn't
don't know.
handle
I
it
think it's
myself.
just like I can't do a motion control shooter in third person. Like I can do it in first, like Metroid Prime, like 3. That worked flawlessly, but I can't do it for a third person shooter.
I think the thing that makes it odd is I was gonna say, oh, first person and motion controls, that's weird, but the difference there was you used a Wii remote. With this, you used the controller, so I think that's what makes it, more awkward, because you gotta move both control sticks and tilt it and press the buttons while you're
and that's
aiming.
how Star Fox is supposed to control. So that has me a little worried.
Well, they have regular controls for that, so that's good.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, Star Fox is making me think to get a Pro controller, but like I only play with the gamepad. Did you guys play with the Pro controller or like?
Yeah, I use the Pro whenever I can. Like if a game offers the Pro, I'll use the Pro.
Yeah, same. Because I'm too lazy to charge.
I should definitely buy one, only because I never want to charge the Pro controller. Because I like everyone I know, it's like never charged their Pro controller and it's never died. And obviously, it seems more comfortable.
Well,
yeah, it's
Uno
makes the difference.
Oh god.
Just like I don't want to go grab my charger and then charge it for 3 hours, and then it dies.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've charged my Pro controller twice, and I used it a lot.
Yeah, I got mine back when Tropical Freeze came out, and I've had to charge it twice.
More than a year, man. You've only charged it twice. Like that's one thing Nintendo got right, man. That's
Perfect.
If only they could do the same for the gamepad, cough cough, which dies on.
Oh my god! You literally get like what 27 minutes of gameplay with that.
Like every other time I would play it, it would die. I'm like, screw this.
Oh my god!
You can buy like a battery that's like double the size or something, but I'm like, I don't want to pay money to fix this problem, and I have a controller that's technically more comfortable for me.
And but the battery life would double from like 1.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
that's not even an exaggeration, too. That thing literally is like an hour and a half.
Yeah, the Pro controller lasts like 80 hours, so it's hard to ever go back to the gamepad. Especially when there's not much you do with the gamepad to begin with, so it's like, why bother?
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we move on to Uno, who, before we lose you again, why don't you let us know what you've been playing?
I had to reboot my computer. I had my computer on for probably 4 days straight, and sometimes that gives the Wi-Fi issues. I apologize. Hey, guys. Speaking of things you can do with the gamepad, there's a pretty good game that I was playing the last couple of days that actually does use it pretty cleverly. It's the Affordable Space Adventures, which the obvious go-to joke would be at $20. Is that really affordable?
Yeah.
Game? But it's pretty good. I'm not very far in it yet. I probably put about 3 hours into it, and it's really fun. It's really atmospheric. It's kind of like a mix of an atmospheric puzzle type game. It's a little reminiscent of the game The Fall. That was an eShop game that I really liked a lot. Recommended, I believe, on a former episode here when I sat in with you guys. But this is a completely different game. It's only reminiscent in the sense that it's an outer space kind of atmosphere. a little lonely. You know, there's no spoilers to be given to say the you know, kind of set up for the story is that you're going on a space adventure. It's kind of a space vacation, and then everything goes wrong. And instead of going on kind of a luxurious exploration type safari, instead you're marooned on a planet by yourself. Everyone else appears to be dead or at least missing, and you have this little spacecraft. The cool thing is it does use the gamepad in unique ways because you're encouraged. I think you might have to play primarily with gamepad. I'm one of the people that definitely, since Smash came out, I pretty much exclusively do use my Pro Controller almost all the time. But this game, there's modes it appears to have. I haven't played it with anyone else, but it appears to have modes where you can kind of do like what they call girlfriend mode. Sometimes there's like, you know, if you use the Pro Controller, you can control some of the functions of the spaceship, and then if the other person, there's even a third slot that if someone uses a Wiimote, you can control a few other functions of the spaceship. But I think it would kind of be like a parent plus kids type mode or a girlfriend mode kind of thing. It's not really like a split screen co-op or anything like that. You're just kind of controlling the same ship 3 different ways. In any case, $20, you know, yeah, they'll probably price drop it at some point, but given that I think it's a Wii U exclusive, I wanted to support it, and it has turned out to be pretty entertaining. I find myself wanting to play it and then being like, no, must train on Smash, and like forced myself to not play it, you know, and then you know, I spent a few minutes with it, and you know, I know a few other people on this podcast are Smash addicts as well, so you understand the problem here, having enough time, you know, to play the other games on your system. But it's pretty cool. I'd recommend it almost. So
yeah, I saw it before and it looks pretty cool. Sorry, you want to go, Anthony?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it doesn't help that like if you stop playing Smash for even a day, you start to get rusty.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's how it works.
And now there's the Cookie Monsters having the tournament, Krista, and I'm like, I have come in like last place of everything I've ever played in. And I'm
Glenn, it's a good thing I'm here now, Matt.
I am gonna get like 1 stock off somebody in this tournament. I swear, I'm gonna do it. I'm last time around, my partner. I don't think he was prepared for the depth of the competition. I kept trying to warn him. Then I think he almost quit Smash after that because he was kind of like, you know, he was Johnning a lot, saying a lot of stuff like cheating and abusive techniques and all kinds of stuff. You know, yeah, just all kinds of stuff that I had to really talk him off the ledge. That I'm like, no, this is what it feels like when people are just very much better than you at a game. You know, it's how it feels. You know. So I've been putting in I just passed my 220-hour mark with it. I'm probably about as good as somebody who's played about 5 hours of it, a normal person. So I'm thinking
you're hilarious, man. I freaking love
you. I swear I'm gonna have a shot at getting like a life off like one person. I got to face people from IGN that I know I've fought a few of them before, and I'm gonna get bloody, but it's cool. You know, it's all fun.
Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll face me, and then you can win.
You're not in my initial bracket, so I don't think I'll have a chance to pass. I'm fighting D player. I'm trying to think. You Mad Bro, and
Taha, he's pretty good.
And Zelda, and then Zelda Race. Zelda Symphony.
Mm-hmm.
So and I fought 2 of those 3 before, so I know, like, you know, what I'm getting into here. But since one of my mains is Zero Suit, like pretty much my only main, with maybe Sheik as a backup, you know, that I can sometimes surprise someone with, then at least I have a shot since it's an all-female tournament. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. But other than that, just moving on, I've been playing some 3D Outrun on the 3DS. Pretty cool if you like old arcade games. It's a really pitch perfect modern update, and it's like only $5 or something. So that's a pretty good deal if you like those kind of old arcade games. It's not gonna, you know, last most people very long, but it's fun if you like the kind of thing. I've put more than $5 into Outrun in my life in the arcades, so I like having it on a portable to play a little bit. And Resident Evil Code Veronica X on my PlayStation 2, which is a very rare divergence from Nintendo systems for me. But I really do have fondness for old Resident Evil games, so I figured I'd pick up a $5 copy of that and play it a little bit.
Yes.
So
I beat.
I know. Well, my wife got me my PS2 for we were only dating a month, and my wife, what at the time was my girlfriend, like she saw me play Grand Theft Auto. 3 at someone's house, and we were like giggling like school children, like like you did when you first played Grand Theft Auto 3, and you're like, we can run people over. Oh my god, and like she saw that, and we had just started dating. And at a party, she like brings me a present, and I opened the box, and it's a PS friggin' 2 when they were like new-ish, and I could not. I hope you guys all find your soulmate in life, because I was like, you bought me a PS2, and her quote was, "You just look so happy when you were running all those people over."
That's
the keeper.
Yeah,
Bonnie and
I
Clyde.
married her. It wasn't a hard decision eventually.
Right there and then. Like,
So that's what I've been playing.
Back, he went to get the ring.
It took about 8 more years.
Quick question about Affordable Space Adventures. I thought it was originally a 2-player only game, because I remember seeing someone
I did,
control
too.
something on the touchpad and then something else.
So that's what I've been playing.
Whoa, did you miss Matt's question?
Aha.
No, I didn't. Matt broke up. What was that, Matt? I'm sorry.
Oh. No, that's okay. I was saying, with Affordable Space Adventures, I thought it was originally like a 2-player game where someone has to do stuff on the touchscreen and someone does something else, or can you actually move that yourself?
All I can tell, not having played with it, is that when you boot up, it each time it asks you kind of who's playing, and but it seems like it kind of expects you or requires you to play predominantly with the gamepad. But what it looks like I said, without having tried it, it's like I think you would just add the other players in, because like you have a scanner, for instance, sort of like that you point at things to scan it and figure out what it does. I think like one player would control the scanner, and then you have like lights, and there's a lot of touchpad interface that's going on that maybe they build over to the other players, because a lot of the game is kind of manipulating your ship. You have quite a number of different devices, and engine controls are really specific. Like you have to increase your mass or your anti-gravity or your thrust or all kinds of different things. And so somebody, they may divide the responsibilities, because a big part of it is kind of time management gaming, where you're facing an enemy, he's about to shoot you down, and you need to kill your engines and turn off your lights and activate the scanner all at once. And so you're kind of juggling all that, like, oh crap, he's going to shoot me, and it's really fun. I really like atmospheric games like that with a little bit of an arcade adventure element to it. So if that turns your crank, $20, I hear you. But it was a Saturday night, late night thing, and I was like, hey, why not? And I'm glad I've made the choice. So
is it hard to play by yourself then, or does it kind of scale for? It sounds like it scales for how many you're playing.
It starts a little, well, like it depends on the audience we're talking to. For people,
Oh,
I think you got out
think
there.
you cut out.
did we lose him? We lost him.
where you really have to figure out how
We
to.
were so close.
I can hear
Oh no! Oh,
Say,
can you hear me? Okay.
Sorry, go on again.
Oh no, it's I wouldn't call it super challenging. Ridiculously challenging, not for an experienced gamer, but it's puzzles. So it's more puzzles than arcadey. I mean, there's points where you have to like try and really time everything you're going to do exactly perfectly to avoid a death trap or what have you that you're facing. But most of the time, it's not super challenging. I don't think it ramps according to the number of players. I really doubt it. The first 10 levels were like really easy, and then I have no idea how many levels it has. But then after that, it gets notably harder, where you're an adult gamer is going to get a good challenge out of it. You actually have to sit and think about how to solve each puzzle. You're like, there's a robot with a machine gun pointed at me, and every time I get near it, it locks on, and how can I solve that problem? It's stuff like that, like little death traps that you have to face and then get to the next level. And you can play in bite-sized experience. So I like that about it too. You can play a couple levels and then move back to Smash. So
Okay, yeah, sounds cool.
All right. Moving on. How about Mike? I heard that you are taking us all out to steak because of your Smash winnings.
Yeah, I did pretty good this week. I think I racked in like 160 or something like that,
Nice.
and Joey as well.
jeez.
But
So you're gonna buy
yeah, I
me
got a
Splatoon then?
sponsor as well. I got picked up by Destructoid, the news media thing, so I left IQHQ. But let me start backwards. Now I'm going to Smash, I guess. But so on the 3DS, I finally downloaded that Puzzles and Dragons demo, and it was actually really good. Like I was surprised I liked it, even though the first like 3 times I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm like, oh, let's put
Yeah.
3 fire flowers together, like derp. And I realized I was like doing nothing. Like the game's more complex than it seems, but I'm like, I don't know how I'd feel about buying it, but I did enjoy the time I had playing with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. Other than that, so I can't beat the expert level right now with like the Ice Luigi team, but still, I recommend playing the demo for anyone. I know the game comes out this week on the 22nd, and I think it's only like $30, but like I wouldn't play the other mode to truly be honest. I would probably just play the Mario Brothers mode. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like a game. It seems like something like, oh, well, pick me up, or I'll play in the toilet or some dumb shit like that. Let's see. Then the Vita, I got that platinum on Danganronpa 2, which was really annoying because it had almost nothing to do with anything about the game to get the platinum. Then I started Rogue Legacy. If anyone downloaded that on PSN or
Oh yeah, I played it.
I think I've seen that, but
It was free for PlayStation Plus at one point.
yeah, like I don't remember when, but so I was like, oh, let me give this one a shot. So the bad news right now, starting off with that, is 4 of the silver trophies I got by beating the secret remix bosses didn't go through because apparently this game has like a trophy glitch because it always cross saves and its cross save functionality is crap. So I didn't get those 4 silver trophies, but I got the gold trophy to beat all 4 of those bosses though and unlock like a secret class. So I'm just like, ugh. So I have to like beat the game, redo my file, and then like rebeat those bosses, which require you to beat the other bosses before that. But like, I should probably get the platinum by this weekend. That game is it's really awesome though. It's like an RPG with like random platforming kind of like dungeon layout. Like every time you start a level, you pick like a warrior with a class. So say you pick like a ninja class, and he could have a trait where he's gigantic or a dwarf, and he's also really fast. So before you enter the castle, you level up your stats with the gold you had. You kind of like gained and like gathered from like your previous life. So with those stats, you bump them up, and then you could buy things like tablets or better equipment. So once you go in there, now the dungeon, which you unless you pay 40% of your gold to keep the layout the same, it's always random and different. And the game actually is quite difficult in the beginning because you don't really have that much like HP and MP and all this other stuff. So like a lot of the enemies like overpower you, but basically the game is meant for you to die and come back and get better. And just like, learn enemy patterns and all that. So I kind of enjoyed that Mega Man-esque feel to it. Like I said, I'm still playing that now, so derp on that. I haven't touched my PS3 since I platted KH2, so blah. And then yeah, so on the Smash thing, like after getting picked up and stuff, like
Can you
my
go through
brother, we
the
had
whole? Mike,
constructive.
can
Left
you go through it from the beginning?
had like the Buzz and a few other players and all that. It's just
Mhm.
some dumb issue and all that. But
Oh.
other than that, man, like Smash has been going pretty good. Like I'm getting ready for Evo and all that. So I don't know if I'm gonna get a paid flight, but I might be going out to a few tourneys that are not in New York soon, like CEO in Florida. So let's see how that goes. And I think that's about it. Oh
Wait.
yeah, and 3DS, I finally did some Street Pass stuff again, and I'm literally like one plant away from BD Flower Game, which I'm not proud of, but at the same time I am because that is the worst Street Pass game. But at the same time, I can't leave a Street Pass game not complete. Like it kills me.
Oh, I gave up on it.
Can you, Mike? Can you explain to us a little bit again how the process for getting like picked up or something like that works?
All right, well,
Yeah,
most
Smash
players,
people wanna
I mean, anyone could be a player in a Smash game. Like I said, like in a few podcasts before, like you can go to tournaments and you can do this. So like right now, I think I'm ranked like 147th in Smash right now, which could be better. It could be going up in the week, but whatever. So essentially, like there's crews and there's teams, there's pickups, there's sponsors and all the other stuff. Most crews are just crews. Like they're crews, they're teams. So they're the guys who rock like a tag before, like think VG boot camps or Clash tournaments, the CT. Like those are like the main Smash like teams. But what it means to be like sponsored and all that. So like Clash tournaments and stuff, they're sponsored by I think Astro Gaming and all that. And essentially when you get picked up on a team, you rock their tag and you also maybe get a shirt or a jersey depending on what goes down. And by being on this team, the main thing about it is it kind of helps you get good seeding brackets at tournaments, and people recognize your name more. And the second thing is also seeing on the same team, you're not going to be seated on the same side as your friend and all that. So if you
Sure.
see let's see, VG boot camps like TK Breezy and EE, like they wouldn't be on the same side of the bracket because unless there's a lot of other members or a really stacked tournament. So in turn, that the TO can keep you on separate sides. But essentially, when you're picked up on a team, you're just getting free stuff. Unless you're just getting unless you have a team with your friends and all that. But with IQHQ at the time, I think we were sponsored by Tomahawk Shades, and we were trying to get a deal with Astros, but I left before it even went through because me and Joey were tired of that crap. So yeah. So now with Destructoid, they sent us some shirts. I think there's gonna be more details later when Jonathan Holmes emails us. But yeah.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that. I didn't know I didn't know that they were that involved, to where it was actually.
I know.
Mhm.
I've seen Jonathan. He did a few podcasts with Apex and probably best Smash 4 player in the world, but Zero. And so since I kind of knew the founder of Destructoid, I actually hit up Jonathan. I was like, I wanted to see if they were interested in sponsoring a player and all that. And he said definitely. So it just kind of hit off from there. I mean, I even emailed IGN, but they too casual.
They're too mainstream for you.
Yeah, they're too mainstream. They're like, yo, what kind of Call of Duty? So it's like, all right, man, I gotta go.
That's awesome. I'm
Awesome.
really happy for you in that regard.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right. All right. Last but not least, Matt.
All right. I've basically just been playing Pokemon Rumble World and making sure I don't spend a gosh dang time on the dumb thing. Because I'm like, I don't want to pay money for this. So eventually I'm going to hit a point where I would need to pay money to progress because at the rate you get diamonds through challenges and street passes, which I can't really get street passes anymore, I would need to spend money to unlock later levels. So I'm probably just going to stop when I hit that point. I mean, I could spend $15 or whatever it is to get I don't know, it's 1,700 diamonds or something, basically enough to unlock all the stuff I would need to, but I'm like, I don't know if I'd pay that much. And it's really weird. I understand microtransactions, obviously for free-to-play games, they want you to play, or they want you to pay more than it would initially be priced for. But if you spend $30, you'll get this little, I don't know, fountain or something, and every day you'll get 20 diamonds. And it's if someone spends $30 on this, they should just stop having to pay diamonds forever. Because the thing is, when you do a random, when you choose a world and it has a bunch of levels, and then you end up choosing a level off a roulette, once you finish that level or die or whatever, there's a waiting period. And for the first couple of levels, it's only 40 minutes or whatever, and then you keep going, and one of them is an hour, and one of them's 2 hours, and 3, and the longest one is 10 hours. So I mean, if someone spends $30 on the game, this really should only be a $15 digital title. So $30, you got, whoever's making this game got more than it's worth.
Well,
So
that's the point.
You should not have to spend money on it, but
They know,
I understand it's free to play, so they want you to obviously keep spending.
they know that people like you, Matt, aren't going to spend a dime, so they need to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because I think this brings into question Nintendo's definition of free to play or whatever, or freemium. Because I mean, that's what you're playing in Pokemon Shuffle is totally a normal free to play game, but Stretchmo and that other the Steel Diver game, those are not free to play. That's just a demo, and then you paying money to unlock the actual game.
Yeah, it's kind of piecemeal.
Yeah, it kind of annoys me that they're calling it free to play, because it's really not.
Aren't they using the term free to start?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
not to use free to start.
Iwata said he hates the whole term free to play because it's false advertisement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
free to start. But yeah, I don't know. All right, well, why don't we move into some news? First of all, Amiibo news. Silver Mario
Okay.
Amiibo is coming May 29th. Hey, we always start with Amiibo news.
No, I'm just. Oh god. Opening a
Eli's
can of
biased
worms.
towards Amiibo, so if you say anything bad towards Amiibo, man, you're done. You're done.
Oh, not bad toward Amiibo, just Nintendo's handling of Amiibo.
Well, I've already made my plan for May 29th. I'm gonna go at like 6 a.m. to Target
Oh my
until
gosh.
they open, get as many Amiibo as I can there, and then book it to Toys R Us, and because they open later, and then stand in front of Toys R Us for like another 2 hours, and then get whatever Amiibo I can there, and then hopefully I'll finally get a full set. Uh, and but pretty much right now there's been like there's been a Marth restock, Ike, and Meta Knight. Um, that's really all there is confirmed. Marth pretty much has already been appearing on Amazon and GameStop. You still got Target left, still got Best Buy left. But I'm actually going to get a free Marth amiibo because remember when Wave 4 pre-orders came out? I ended up waiting at GameStop for like 4 hours, and I
Yeah.
still didn't get my pre-orders. So I complained, and they're like, well, we'll give you a free amiibo. Which one do you want? And I'm like, well, I already own all of them. And they're like, all right, we'll give you an amiibo in the future. I'm like, that's cool. So then I contact them when there's the Marth restock, and I'm like, hey, can I get a Marth? And they're like, sure, we'll send you one. So
Oh,
Let's see if
nice.
they stick up with that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, sorry, we ran out again.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, that's cool. So I mean, I haven't really heard anything since. They're like, oh, we shipped it, but we'll see.
I actually may have a shot myself as well. I really want Lucina because she's one of my mains. So I went to when GameStop first started the pre-orders. I wasn't able to go right when the store opened because I had to take my sister to school. So I got there an hour late, and that was enough.
If you have a life.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god. I mean, she could have failed that. She could have failed that test. The teacher would have understood. You know. But and I got there an hour late, and that, of course, proved to be too much. And I asked he's like, yeah, we're already sold out of Lucina. I'm like, are you guys like getting like only one in stock? And he's like, no, we're getting two. So
Oh
my
God.
plan here is we have this store. I don't know like what other states it's in, but it's called Meijer. It's just like a 24-hour Target kind of.
Yeah, it's like a mix of like a Walmart and a Target.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the thing is that they don't do pre-orders, but they're open 24 hours. So that might give me a shot because I know they get Amiibo. I actually got Pit from a Meijer when no other store had one. So I'm gonna go there at midnight on May 28th and just see if they get any in stock, and hopefully I'll be like the first one.
This is turning into like a drug cartel where they're open 24 hours and you gotta like watch out for the truck that comes in with the shipment.
I like
You gotta
come in
keep,
with like a
like,
trench
track
coat. Yeah, I'm in like a trench coat and sunglasses. Just...
Yeah. Like when's
Yeah.
the shipment getting in?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Splatoon amiibo and the
Yeah.
the Lucina amiibo. See if I get a shot. My friend wants me to get a I forget what it is. One of the other ones that's coming out that nobody seems to be able to pre-order.
Robin, Pac-Man, Charizard. What else is there?
This is Wario. Yeah, I think it was Greninja. Yeah.
Ninja's
From,
only at Toys R Us.
Oh, okay. All
he's
right, then
hard.
he's SOL. Dang it.
Well, my goal is to get at Target. Last time there were tons of Rosalinas. I got like 8 of them.
Mhm.
So my goal is to like trade up because I got a villager for like $112 because I'm crazy. So, but I like traded up. I traded my Rosalinas for it. So.
So eight as for a villager, huh?
Well, no. Well, what I did is I sold the Rosalinas, or not. I didn't sell all of them. I sold like 4 of them, and then I used the money I made from the 4 Rosalinas to buy a villager. So.
Oh, okay. Right on.
I don't feel as dirty as a normal scalper because I actually used it to buy another amiibo.
Because you used to buy another one, exactly. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
If anyone on here or listening to the podcast still needs to get their hands on a Mega Man or a Sheik by any chance, I have an extra of each boxed USA versions unopened, ready to. I'll gladly sell it to anybody for cost of the original cost plus shipping. I just bought extras, not sure if I was going to get into the one to play with kind of thing, and now I'm sitting on them. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll trade them for something if anyone wants to make a trade, either for maybe Toon Link or something else that I didn't pick up yet. So hit me up.
Yeah, I actually have an unopened Wii Fit trainer. I mean, I know she's somewhat rare. Not a lot of people want her, but if anyone wants it, let me know too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get rid of that for probably face value, we could talk after the cast or something.
Yeah,
like
sounds
that.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I don't have.
We'll meet in the back alley afterwards.
I actually got one. I got one. Man, this was the other because I've overpaid for 2 Amiibo. I also overpaid for, in addition to the Villager, the Wii Fit trainer. I bought that one for 45, I think, and that was but brand new. I have issues, Anthony. You haven't been on the podcast regularly, but I have serious issues in terms of Amiibo.
I think you realized that once you said 8 Rosalinas.
Oh man!
No. I mean, my goal originally was to get them all, and then I just decided I'm too lazy, so I'm just gonna get my mains because it's just too much work.
Yeah, I wanted them too, but then after I couldn't open it, I finally opened one, and I was like, man, these aren't that fun to play with, and now I don't want to waste the money. That's what it turned out. So I'm like, I don't even know if I want another one ever again.
Mike, I sent a Rosalina to you, and that's how you treat me.
Hey, that was for my brother. He has them all.
Which would you guys say is the best Amiibo? I'm just curious.
The best one?
Yeah, maybe best quality. Which one do you think they did the best job on?
I like Toon Link the best, but that's just
for me, I think King DDD is the surprise one that's done really well. But Mega Man looks really good. But for me, it's Mario or Yoshi. They look just like their characters. Mario, Luigi, Yoshi look perfect. King
I really
DDD
don't
and
like
Mega Man.
Mario. I don't like the Mario. I hate how that fireball looks. I was surprised everyone else doesn't feel that way. I'm always like, I don't want that. What's up with that thing in his hand?
He's got a flaming turd.
I don't know what it is. I think Fox is one of the most detailed ones, but if you want to go most for your money, DDD has got to be the heaviest one. So you get
he has the ridges on the fur coat thing. Yo, it's mad good. I was like, oh my god, they went mad hard for King DDD.
DDD's basically flawless. It just looks exactly like his model, completely.
The thing is, though, the way I look at Amiibos now, I only care for my Mario, Yoshi, Link, and Fox, because those are the 4 games that are important for the Wii U. So I'm assuming they're gonna have some type of thing for it,
Mm-hmm.
I think
the Splatoon ones are really detailed.
Oh
really
yeah, they
high
awesome.
quality. And yeah, I saw the pictures. I'm like, oh man, I love this. I got the girl one coming on the way.
Yeah, I want the.
Can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to give a shout out real quick to Clinta from IGN. He hooked me up because I don't I have job life. Some of us suffer from these problems. Yeah, Anthony was saying, and I couldn't keep an eye on it close enough for the latest wave that went on sale, and I think he got me a Wario on when they re-released it. So he's not 100% sure in case they can the order or do something stupid like that, but he definitely hooked it up, and I got myself a pack. I got a Pac-Man, which is one of the ones I really wanted. For me, it's Pac-Man, Duck Hunt, Zero Suit from the very beginning. I'm like, those are the ones I gotta have. There's Duck Hunt for the classic game, Pac-Man for the even more classic game, and Zero Suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be a nice looking Amiibo, if you know what I'm saying.
No, no. What do you? What?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Come on,
Are you sure you're not talking about the quiet figure?
Only to be surpassed by Shirtless Shulk when they
I
released
finally
that.
realized, what's the best Amiibo, Clay? The double cannon Samus. That's the best one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It looks so good also. Legit, that should be Samus's new design.
Have you guys modded any of yours?
I want to, but I haven't.
I'm not.
I made my
I
link
want a Metal Mario or a Jumpman costume version.
Mm-hmm. I made my Link a Fierce Deity one.
Nice.
What did you do? It broke up. What did you say?
I made my Link Amiibo a Fierce Deity Link.
Oh, cool. I genuinely looked around for parts. I was Googling around for doll costumes and stuff for real, because I wanted to make the way this is for real. The way the Fox one looks, he's kind of looked like he's giving someone the pimp hand, like smacking down. And
Now I gotta go look at it.
I wanted to get him a little like pimp hat. in like a fur coat,
Oh my
and
God,
and then make like him like smacking down another amiibo, like, you know. But I swear I looked around and I couldn't find like how do you find doll-sized pimp coat? Like, where do I buy this?
Well, now you got to figure what amiibo do you have with the fox that he pimp slaps?
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to be
Like
sexist,
which
so I'd probably
character
make
is which character like
Kirby.
which character like is posed in the perfect way for it?
I just want to be the guy. I just want to be the guy who has to make that like call to the arts and crafts store. Do you have like a miniature pimp outfit? Oh, you got those in the back.
Yeah.
I'm asking for
Yeah, it didn't work out yet.
All right. All right. So moving on to some other news. Not the amiibo. Oh, by the way, I actually got an Ike amiibo. I already had one, but
Nice.
I needed it for trade because I still don't have a Lucina, Robin, or Wario pre-ordered. So I need that trade bait. All right.
Nice.
I was just gonna say, as far as customized amiibo are concerned, I would love a cosplay Pikachu, like the wrestler or the rock star one.
Oh,
That
cool.
would be the best one I'd want.
Yeah, I'd want the
Anyways,
red
I-
hat one. I love him with that red hat in Smash.
You could make that pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't be too hard. I'm sure you could figure that
all right.
one out if you put some time into it. That's pretty cool.
All right. Well,
What about Amiibo?
as you know, aside from Amiibo, there's this thing called E3 that's happening. I know Amiibo are much more important, but E3 is coming. So I
Screw E3. I'm gonna be camping outside my GameStop.
maybe we should get about
You mean
half a time to
you mean Amoeba Threebo?
oh, Amiibo.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to Threebo. Sorry.
All right. So there's gonna be several events. So number one, there's gonna be this business part presentation, which doesn't really matter to any of us. But the actual E3 digital event is going to take place at 9 a.m. Pacific time on June 16th, which is a Tuesday. That's pretty much the time they've had every year. Square Enix ran away and moved their press conference an hour later because they wanted to get out of Nintendo's way, which is understandable. Then they're going to still have the Treehouse Live from the 16th to the 18th. They're going to do a Nintendo World Championship with Reggie competing on June 14th, which is the Sunday before. And I think there are qualifiers at the end of May, from what I understand. There's going to be Mario Maker at Best Buy on June 17th and June 20th. Lots of stuff here. So this is pretty much the same thing they've been doing for the last couple years. There's not really much different, other than the Nintendo World Championships, of course. So should we get into? We've already done a lot of predictions, but let's do them again, just because why not? So we could just go through maybe one or two things that one thing that you're really sure we'll see, and one thing that you're not so certain that you wish you'd see at E3. So number one, I guess I'll start. I am certain that we'll see Pokken Tournament, like 100% certain. I'm pretty sure we'll see that. And then for one thing, I hope that the new game from Intelligent Systems is not Paper Mario and is a new IP. So that's my little prediction thing. What about you, Anthony?
Well,
Sorry, give you guys enough time to prepare. But
well, I'm sure that we'll see Mother 3 in HD. Look forward to that. That'll be there. No, I mean, I'm positive we'll see some Star Fox, right?
yeah,
I'm psyched for that. What would I like to see that we probably won't? I'd really love to see a new Metroid.
I'm with you.
Or I'd really like to know what Retro Studios is up to. They're like always my number one wish at any E3 to hear from them.
man, I'm still betting that Metroid's on the 3DS. I'm calling it.
I would actually really love a new 2D Metroid. I actually prefer the 2D ones to the 3D ones. I do love the 3D ones. Yeah. I think it's about time for a new 2D one.
Yeah, I think, and it probably so like usually I think the reason they wouldn't do 2D Metroids is because the 3D ones would sell more. But now that you've got a Wii U and a 3DS, and the 3DS is just kicking Wii U's butt into the ground, I think they can do a 2D one because the 3D one I don't think would really do that much better sales
Here's
wise.
the question. We know they're doing both a 2D and a 3D. Do you think they'll pull the old switcheroo and have the 2D on the Wii U and the 3D on the 3DS?
Oh no way!
Wow.
Well, they
What about
kind of
like a
did
new?
that with Fusion and Prime One. They kind of were like coincided, but they weren't like related
Yeah.
story wise.
What about a new Hunters like on 3DS? That would be in 3D.
Yeah.
I would flip honestly for a new Hunters with like a robust online system and everything. That game was awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I agree. Um, I don't know. How about Mike? What about you? Your E3 prediction?
Well, I feel like we talked about this already because I already said Staff Fax was going to be there. Well, I'm really hoping that there is some sort of Paper Mario 5 redemption. They're gonna call it Paper Mario Redemption. Sakurai, I mean not Sakurai.
We're
Miyamoto is
so
not allowed.
sorry.
Didn't touch this game, so that means it's good. If he didn't touch
Paper
it.
Mario not Sticker Star Edition.
Yeah, it's gonna be Paper Mario. Miyamoto was in the other room, and we worked on it secretly, so he didn't learn it. I was like, all right, that's a start. That's a start. But
Paper Mario
I don't.
Miyamoto wasn't high this time.
Yeah. But like, I could see a Metroid, but at the same time, I'm not gonna bank on it. It's possible it could be worked on. At the same time, it, like, I don't even know what to look at for the 3DS. Like, it's like us like wanting Metroid because there is nothing for the 3DS. You know, it's like me hoping, oh man, they'll remake Super Bomberman or some bullshit like that. But honestly, for me, it's probably going to be, they're probably just going to show off Mario Maker, the terrible I Am Robot game, or whatever the hell it is, with Will Smith and the guy from Transformers,
no.
Shia LaBeouf. And honestly, all I care about is how good Star Fox is and how much better it's going to be after I see it. And then for them to show one more trailer of Zorldo, and I could be like, man, this game's going to suck because the last Zelda sucked. All right, good.
Well then.
Yeah.
How about All right, why don't we move on to Matt? What about you? Give us
Sure.
some.
Yeah, I think we should see Pokemon again. Like my prediction from a couple of months ago, it should be coming out by the end of this year, early next year on Wii U, given the arcade thing and whatnot. So I think that's kind of a given. I really do hope Paper Mario is shown off because of what we were talking about before with some guy went to an event and he said they're working on it or something. Maybe that was just off the cuff, or he was just saying, "Oh yeah, we've worked on the series." Who knows? But I would hope they're working on something. I don't know. I don't really know if I was reading a blog today about that. I don't really know if there's anything I'd be dying to see because most of the franchises from Nintendo already have games on their systems, or we already know they're in development. So there's not really much else I can think of. I just kind of want to see, I guess, as far as studios go, I'd love to see what Retro's doing, even though I don't care much for Metroid. Like, just hearing them hire people so much over the years and then them working on it constantly, like this whole time, it's like, okay, we got to see what the heck are you making now? Like, I just want to see whatever this giant project is. Or
Yeah.
if it's two. And then I don't know if Next Level is that far into development, but it'd be cool to see whatever they're working on. If they have a teaser at least or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
Nothing on what about Pokemon tournament? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think it'll show up.
Yeah, I can't imagine they don't. All right. Uno. We didn't ask you. One
You.
reasonable prediction and one far-fetched one.
I mean, if you wanted something I think is reasonable, it's going to be kind of a blend because I think the last several directs, if we just look at kind of the trajectory, not so much what they're showing, is like they're surprising us a lot. They've really been killing it, kind of like dropping a few like everything from when they had 50 cool things about Smash or whatever it was. That was a really good one. And then when they kind of just dropped it on us that we're going to be able to vote and they're going to give us new characters and Smash. I mean, some of you would say it's not a surprise to have that. I thought it was. I would have been on the other side of that bet. I would have been like, nope, it's stable. They're not going to keep upping the roster just because of DLC concerns, things like that. So maybe some kind of surprises along that line. Maybe they drop the idea that yes, they're going to add stages to Smash, and show a few of those like new stages. Maybe new modes. I mean, what if they brought Smash Run over to and replace that stupid Smash Tour game
Oh,
or whatever?
Yes.
Oh, please.
I actually like
Online.
Smash Run. It was fun.
Oh, Smash Run's great.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is then it takes away value from the 3DS version, and they're not going to do it. So it's a far-fetched one there. You guys seemed like you were saying Pokemon is coming to Wii U. Is that like confirmed or something known? I wasn't aware of that.
No,
It's not, but it's on arcade, and the likelihood of it not coming to Wii U is minimal. Like, it wouldn't really make sense for them to be like, let's make an arcade. I mean, I know they made Mario Kart GP or whatever, but that's separate from, like, that's made with Banco or Namco.
Yeah.
And I mean, we already have Mario Kart, but...
It's no secret that I'm not like a Pokemon player among you guys, but I mean, I'd be happy for you guys because it is the no-brainer. You're like, come on, where's the Pokemon game on Wii U? I mean, I get it; it floats your portable market, but
it's a fighting game, Pokemon Tournament, so I'm very interested to see it because it's kind of one of those things where we don't really know how it's working. So. Because it's a fighting game,
I mean, I want to see that video game. Unlike, I mean, our resident dark side critic Mike, I am willing to like give Miyamoto another look at that giant robot and that other game, the camera game, because I don't know, his track record's great with me. I'm not a big Zelda guy these days. I prefer old timey Zeldas over more of the recent ones, but dude knows how to make a good game with clever hooks in it, and he's been doing it for years. So
he lost the skill. He lost it, man. You can't trust him no more. All right, it's like 5 years of crap he's been pulling out. Like, man, he's lucky. I love Super Mario 64 so much that I'm like, you know what? He made that game. He's good, man. He's good. All right.
Hey,
no, but I like weird concepts. So I mean, like Pikmin. I know we're all hanging around on Pikmin, but he's had new IPs since then. But whatever. I mean, he can clever, unique takes on either existing or new genres, So the one with the cameras, I think I heard they're going to blend that in. If Star Fox was the rumor, do you remember that game they were showing?
Yeah,
it was like kind of camera control. What was it called?
Project Guard. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was. I remember that. But the Project Giant Robot, we talked about this last week. My prediction for Project Giant Robot would be that it would be released the day of the Nintendo Direct, and they'd just be like, well, it's out today. Go download it. That was my prediction anyway.
I can see that.
Did we lose Uno again? I think we lost it.
You forgot the most important news, how Target has a special Splatoon spray gun if you buy Splatoon on the 29th.
Oh, there you go. So you know what? The other news is very important. The Splatoon Amiibo actually have ink in the Amiibo, like in the little ink place.
Oh wow!
So
no, I think the gun is better because it's summertime, so you can spray people who want your copy of Splatoon. But so if I break my Amiibo, it's got ink in it. See, now look what happens if I drop it. Now I'm gonna stain the rug. All right.
All right. I'm gonna get through this news pretty quick here. Iwata's not going to E3. I don't think that's a huge deal. He wasn't there last year either, but last year was for health reasons. This year it's apparently for business reasons. I don't really think it means anything. I don't think it's a big deal. So Matt also put in this: Nintendo's membership with DNA exists because of things like Miiverse, Club Nintendo, and other Nintendo stuff. So they want to bridge all of that together, and that's why they approached DNA in the first place. Okay, so
they're not necessarily going to mix Miiverse and Club Nintendo or whatever together, but they want a place where they have all of those kind of functionalities integrated.
Yeah. They're planning to have 4 to 5 games out by 2017 on mobile, but that's not really relevant right now. More unannounced Wii U games will come by the end of April 2016 and beyond. That's just pretty much Iwata's way of saying, like, the Wii U's not dead, guys. We swear. Please don't boycott it yet. So, and, okay, we talked about this last week. Matt put this news in here. For the news story, the title is "More Unannounced 3DS Games for This Year Are Likely," which is
based off of the quote I got.
Gosh,
It's not confirmed, but
because pretty much we talked about this last week as well. But currently there are 2 3DS games announced for the rest of the year for the first party, and that is Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, and or as IGN calls it, Animal Crossing House Arrest Edition.
That game looks awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
And then there's Puzzles and Dragons, which looks pretty good. But other than those 2 games, like, we've got nothing. So yeah, I really hope there's more 3DS games. So there's going to be another Splatoon test fire on May 23rd. That's this Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. Check it out. It's a good game. Splatoon will have party matchmaking and custom games in August. Now, this is super weird because in the review version for this game, it's there. So I don't see why it just can't be there at launch. Doesn't really make sense. But I guess this is just like their way of being weird. You know, it's Nintendo.
That sounds like Nintendo.
it's weird because I remember IGN wrote an article before, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't have custom games and blah blah blah." And then I just saw this news that apparently came out 2 weeks after that article saying, "No, they will have it." So I wonder if they're like, "Oh crap, people are hating this, so let's say we're gonna bring it in August." But then you said it's in the actual game, so that's weird.
I don't know. Maybe okay. So the option that's in the game is to play with a friend, like in Mario Kart, I guess.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a party, but if I went and played with Mike, and then Anthony wanted to come play with us, he could just join in. So I mean, it's not a real party play, but I mean, we could definitely play with each other. So I don't know if that's a part of the real game or not.
Quick question, Eli. I don't know if this would constitute like custom game or not, but can you do like the teams are 4-on-4 right?
Yeah.
Can you do like 3 of your friends versus 4 random online people? Like, can you team up with your friends online against 4 random people online?
So I think so. Like,
Okay.
I think we can, but that's from the version that they sent us, and it's different. It's not like it's really weird because the what they send us is specifically called Splatoon review code or review copy. And then it expires on the 29th. On the 29th of May, it self-destructs from our system, so we can't play them anymore. It's just really weird. There's like this like a Miiverse community for the reviewers and stuff. But like I don't know what Nintendo means by party play, because you know in Mario Kart you could also go and play with your friends.
Right.
So I don't know. You know, they're not really clear on that.
Because that's a must, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the game absolutely needs that.
Yeah, you know what else it needs? Voice chat, cough, cough. I mean, I don't think it. Okay, after playing it, I don't think it's as required as I thought maybe like 2 weeks ago. But man, I still wish that game had voice chat.
I just use Skype, so I've never used an in-game voice chat really, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Ubisoft, other than the Just Dance, which is coming to the Wii, they're not going to create any more games for the last gen systems. So that's good. It's also good to hear that they're such strong supporters of the Wii, because Nintendo really wasn't.
Yeah, still making games for it.
Still making games.
Even Nintendo isn't.
Also, the stretch mode came out, which I talked about at the beginning. It's $10 pretty much for like 250 puzzles. I think it's a good deal because it's like 4 pennies a puzzle, which is super cheap. The game is really creative. I'd say pick it up if you like puzzle games. So Renegade Kid teased a Mutant Mudds Mystery Dungeon game. And then here's some news. Monochroma, which was this kickstarted indie title that people were really excited for, is no longer coming to the Wii U. It was canceled, but it is coming to the Wii. So that's another really weird situation.
Huh.
Really?
Apparently, it's not coming to the Wii U due to technical difficulties, which is really weird. It's like a black and white game, I think, or something like that. So apparently it's a coding thing. They said that in order to bring it to the Wii U, they would literally have to like rebuild it from scratch, and they just don't want to do that.
Are you sure it was the Wii? Because I read it's coming to Xbox One.
Yeah,
but I didn't see the Wii listed.
Yeah, let me pull it up again. But I'm pretty sure I saw that it's coming to the Wii, but not the Wii U. Doo-doo-doo.
I literally didn't know anyone's making games for the Wii anymore.
I know.
Yeah, maybe I just misread. That's possible too. All right. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you said. Yeah, it was planned at one point for the Wii as well.
Oh, was
and then
canceled?
and 360 and PS3 and all that, and then they're like, nope, scrap it, just the Xbox One.
Oh, well, that's great to hear.
So yeah, there was a point. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that really covers all the news. E3 is coming up super soon. I think it's fair to say everyone's really excited for it. I really hope that when they said that they'd only show 2015 games at E3, they meant just like on the show floor. I'm hoping that the Nintendo Direct itself does have 2016 games, because they really don't. I mean, they have a lot, but I don't think they have enough for Nintendo Direct for the rest of the year. But we'll see. Maybe they have a surprise up their sleeves, like, Nintendo probably does. And maybe, hey, I mean, Bandai Namco, remember, announced Project Treasure or whatever. You still got Devil's...
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That game looks...
Yeah.
That Treasure one interested me.
Yeah, Pokemon Treasure, if it gets announced, you got some of these surprises, maybe. We'll see.
Usually when they say, oh, we're only going to focus on these games, they still have something that's outside of that range.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't expect we'll show 5 games. We might show some teasers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an excellent show. I don't think this year's show is going to be as good as last year, but I think it's still going to be really good and solid. But
well, unfortunately, one thing for them is they really have to prove that they're going to stick with Wii U until at least the day the NX comes out, because now that we know 2016 they're going to show it off, it's like, okay, should people are going to be like, should we buy a Wii U or just wait till the new system, because who knows how long they're actually going to keep making games for it.
Yeah, and
like the Wii, they cut off like the last 2 years of its life, which was basically half of its life.
Yeah, and I mean, the interesting thing is that if you look at their expectations for the next year for the Wii U, they're expecting the Wii U to sell 3.4 million units, which is the same amount it sold in the last year. And so I think they understand that it's not going anywhere, but I think they're pretty set in the fact that the Wii U is not like dying yet. Which I think is the main point for them, is keeping it alive as long as they can. And Nintendo's making money again, thanks to Amiibo, thanks to good game sales. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up making more Mario Kart DLC, because
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, with 5 million units sold, that's huge. It'll probably be like 8-9 million by the end of its lifetime. If they sell DLC to 1 in 10 people and say 500,000 people buy that DLC, that's still like easy $5 million right there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to remake assets or anything. They just got to build a course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to say... Oh, go on.
No, it's okay. I'm a little off topic. It was a question about what you talked about last week. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to quickly say, yeah, the one thing I forgot to bring up with E3 is one thing I'd like to see again is another like jointly developed game like Hyrule Warriors or Pokken Tournament, where they take like one of the Nintendo franchises and mash it up with like some other style that we haven't really seen before. I think that'd be cool.
I agree.
I like those.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Nintendo fans really like them too.
I'm just like
That's
always
not,
all
that's
for
not a hard
experimentation.
bet either, because That's not a hard bet because, I mean, with them stretched out across all these different things, but I mean, that's kind of maybe what we'd expect. Metroid, well, that might be being developed by somebody else, but I mean, they've got a lot of stuff that they're kind of in process with. So something like the Hyrule Warriors, but I mean, what franchise is the question? What's not already under development with something else? Sorry, Anthony, I cut you off.
Oh no, I was just saying I really love it when they experiment like that with like their franchises and like they get more brave to like venture into other territory like with Hyrule Warriors. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah. I think it's a good way for them to try and compensate the lack of third parties where they're kind of doubling down on their own franchises. They're like, well, we can only make, so many 3D Mario platformers at one time or Mario Karts or whatever. So let's get with some developers and make some, crossover things.
Yeah.
It's really
Well,
cool.
I'm really happy they're starting to do that more and more, like, because Nintendo wouldn't be able to single-handedly support the Wii U
No.
and by itself, but thanks to stuff like Hyrule Warriors, thanks to stuff like, Platinum Games working on Bayonetta Wonderful 101, thanks to Devil's Third, and just all this not third party, but like the deals that Nintendo's outsourcing, that's the game, the word I'm looking for. And I mean, Smash Brothers, for example, developed by Namco Bandai. Can you imagine how many resources Smash Bros. Would eat up if it was developed internally at Nintendo? So I think Nintendo is approaching that smart. I mean, Star Fox, it's another game which they said they would outsource some of that to an outside developer to help develop, because Nintendo just doesn't have the resources in-house to have giant projects in addition to Zelda in development.
Well, that one seemed weird to me because it seemed like out of their franchises, that's the simplest game they could make. Like, all the other Star Fox games are only like 5 or 6 hours. Maybe this game won't be that short, but I don't know. They always seem like straightforward, easy to make games, so it's weird that they have to find a developer with that. But I guess they're working on too many other projects to focus on. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to ask, did you guys talk about the Nintendo World Championships? Was that announced before your last podcast, or did that come out since then?
No, well, we just talked about it briefly. We talked about that was announced since the last podcast, but we brought it up. Why, do you have some thoughts on that?
I just wondered if if there's any consensus out there on what games we think whether they'll have certain games for the qualifier and then mutate whatever it's going to be, obviously, for the finals. And kind of do it the Wizard style, like drop it on us, like it's Super Mario Brothers 4, everybody, what have you. Are we really going to expect to show up to Best Buy and play on a CRT TV and play like levels, or is it going to be something like limited to stuff that's on the eShop? Because that would make sense, like the retro games that they might feature. Is it like safe bet that like if you're going to start training, download all the classic titles from the eShop and get good at those, or whatever the games are that are in NES Remix, things like that. I haven't given it a lot of thought. I was just curious if there's any consensus out there in the IGN community or anything else that you guys have been hearing about.
I saw a tease, I think it was for an NES game. I don't remember the game, but it was on one of the older systems. So there's that at least. So it's not just strictly new stuff. So I think it'll be a collection. That would be really cool that you brought up if they sprung out a surprise game. It's like, here, you're going to play this new game we didn't announce. That would be amazing.
Is the core of the Wizard, drop it on us. Like, you're going to play a level from a game you've never seen before, I mean, and that wouldn't be unprecedented if you think about it, because when they had their, I don't know, what the opinion of the Smash tournament they had on stage was, but that was basically the same idea. It's like, hey, here's the controllers, guys. You've never played Smash 4 yet, but go. Let's see how you can do. They pick their characters without ever having used them, if I'm not mistaken. So who knows? Be cool. So
I know Zelda's a far way off, but seeing as it's supposed to have some sort of like multiplayer, that'd be cool if they showed it off. But no way they're gonna show it off.
Good call. I like it.
Imagine that. Well, maybe that's going to be where we see Project Giant Robot for the first time.
Gosh, Zelda, the championship
revived.
And 3 levels of Rad Racer, everybody. Rad Racer. You love it? It's Rad Racer.
All right, so why don't we close up by plugging in all of our stuff where you can find us, etc. I am Eli Polisan on Twitter and MyGN, and you can also find my work on NintendoEnthusiast.com. And yeah, that's it for me. What about Matt?
All right, I am the Mango Viking on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right, and Mike.
Hi guys, I am Troy Fullbuster on Twitter and Twitch, and then also Super Nintendo Bros on YouTube and IGN. Hopefully, I be more active after finals this week. I'm gonna graduate next Thursday, so yeah.
Congratulations,
Oh,
dude.
congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Like,
Congrats.
I'm not ready, but like I'm kind of ready. But like you know what? Let me get a few blogs and some new games out. Then I'll realize. Then I'll realize I'm ready.
What's your degree in Smash?
I'm getting a degree in economics and also political science, but I also have a minor in a business honors program.
Oh, you're very active.
Congratulations.
Oh, speaking of which, Mike, can I brag a little bit too? Not to steal your spotlight.
No, Eli, podcast over. Bye, everyone.
I'm graduating also this Thursday, but not from college.
Oh, yeah, congrats, man. Congrats. I forgot. I knew
Yeah,
you were going to
congrats.
college, dude. I forgot.
But that's not as important. But the important part is yesterday I ran my first marathon, which
Yes, saw
which-
that.
I'm super happy about that.
Oh, really?
Yo, man. Yo, no, seriously, a
Awesome.
marathon, man. Congrats on that. That shit is mad
Jeez.
hard. Like,
Oh,
as
yeah.
somebody who only did sprints, like occasionally, like in college, all I did was 100s and 200s, man. Yo, anything past 400 meters is
Anything past my block, the block on my main street. Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yo, Eli, did you run it in Denver, like or whatever, Colorado, or whatever the
Yeah,
hell?
I ran. There's a big marathon called the Colfax Marathon, and it's right in the middle of Denver, through downtown and stuff. That's what I ran.
Yo, kudos, man. You're that thin ass air over there, man.
I was gonna say the air's so
Yeah.
thin there. I swear to God, I feel it every time I come out to your state, man. That's crazy.
It's
Right on.
funny because for me, like already being used to Colorado, whenever I go back to a different state, it feels like I'm just drowning. Like when I get off. Uno, what about you? Where can we find you online?
Online, I was gonna say the bar on the weekends and nights and weeknights in front of my TV playing Smash, and online. Yeah, no, not so much. With good friends, it doesn't seem like it's as necessary, but I'm getting my fill there. Zero Suit's going to be brutal, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
But moving on from the Amiibo news, Clay, I play Nintendo at night on Wii U. If you want to hit me up for a friend request, it's Unoclay. And otherwise, I blog occasionally on IGN, but not reliable. I make snarky comments on other people's things most of the time right now, and summer's coming, so I won't even be online as much, but see you in the fall, everyone. So thanks a lot for having me.
Of course, anytime. And then Anthony, last but not least.
You can find me on my IGN, Gameguy 523. I'm the 523rd game guy to exist. So,
Yeah. There were 522 others, and Anthony killed every
I
single.
killed them all.
Yeah.
That didn't mean he could take Gameguy, the original. He didn't know their password, so he just said
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me, guests. Thanks, Anthony and Clay. Thanks everyone
My
for
pleasure.
listening. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.